What up, YouTube? I am Dom Knight. This is Night Talks, and we are back with another Reaction Wednesday. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you can get some notifications, alright? I have a new goal since we hit our goal. The goal is 125 subs by September. You guys helped me out, and I am so grateful to all of you who have taken the time to sub, watch a video, leave a comment, slap a like, any of that. I truly appreciate it. You guys are wonderful. So the new goal, we're just gonna ride this to the end of the year. All right, it's a big one and it's a big challenge to myself, but I'm gonna do it. All right, the goal is 250 subs by the end of December. Okay, so please help me out with that. I am forever grateful to you. All right, today we got a Jubilee reaction. All right, and I did another Jubilee reaction, which I'll link below. It did terrible. No one watched it, but that's okay. Hopefully you guys will like this one more. I picked this because I think next week, maybe the following week, I plan to do a video about interracial dating, and Jubilee just dropped this a couple weeks ago, and the title of this is it okay to have a preference of race? Interracial couples disagree or agree. All right, so we're gonna get right into this without further ado. Let's watch.
The freak stuff in the bedroom. If race sprinkles is put into that context, what do we think of that? Like
how would race be put into the bedroom?
Use your imagination.
I have unintentionally been racist towards my partner. 3, 2, 1, go.
I've definitely been ignorant.
So we were.
I wrote it down.
So we had an argument, and I was upset, and I had previously expressed how the stereotype or the stigma on angry black men or angry black women and how that makes me feel. And so we got into an argument. I was an angry black man. But in that moment of anger, he actually called me an angry black man, which
is like the worst thing
made
to say.
me go crazy because that was like the one thing, and I talked to him about. So that was a really bad fight, and it never happened again.
Right. I feel like, I'm strongly disagree, but I think as just a white person, I am just inherently ignorant, so I think I'm gonna move to somewhat agree. Dating a black man has completely opened my eyes more than I already thought they were open,
To be fair, you've never said anything that made me feel like, damn, she's racist.
I'm from the Bay, so it used to be in my vocabulary where I would say the N-word with the A. I would rap it, I would do just those things, but my slang in general would just tick her off. And then I became conscious of it, and I really liked her, or I still do, of course, I love you. I started changing the way I speak. I feel like she should be over here too. She would do Asian accents.
The only time that I feel like I could be offending Asian people is when I'm mocking you when you're mocking your mother.
Yo, hold up. I feel like Asian people get mocked the most when it comes to language and speaking. Just like think back to, anybody ever seen the movie Team America World Police? If you've seen that movie, then you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, then watch it. It's funny. I don't know. I just feel like people always are mocking Asian folks with their accents. And you could call me terrible, but it is kind of funny. But it ain't no disrespect, no shade. But how y'all feel about this Asian dude saying the M word? Just curious. Just want to know what y'all thoughts are. Let's continue.
So I only do the accent when he does it, making fun of his mom. Before that, I never did that, so.
Okay guys, so we're gonna do something different. This is called hot takes. And basically we had our audience submit hot takes and assumptions that they make about interracial relationships. They're really hot.
Oh boy.
Sex gets steamy since you are interracial.
I mean, I think it adds to
I like the
appeal.
differences between us. I don't
Yeah,
know.
definitely. I mean, there's not like any weird role play or anything. But yeah, definitely, you know, makes it fun.
I will say, like, when I'm not with you, people will like be like, oh, like, I know why you're with the black guy. And it's like, that's like super disrespectful, because it's like, that's like definitely like on the line of like fetishizing like a race.
There's not many sexual stereotypes about white men. But like walking down the street, especially dating an Asian woman, like I get looks from men all the time, and like, oh, like, you know, right? And like people like actually like calling me out while I'm right next to her.
Interracial relationships can be a fetish, and that's okay if it's love too.
Even if you love the person, you just fetishizing that person is
feel like it
good at all.
devalues
Yeah,
it.
and you're devaluing the entire community in itself.
I think there's always room for growth, so I can understand if it starts as a fetish and then along, you know, the relationship, they actually fall in love with that person and they realize that, okay, it wasn't okay for me to initially just like you based off of that.
If it
Hold up, before he talks, I want to speak on that. I do not think it is okay to be with someone if you just like them for a fetish type of reason. I stay away. If a white girl's trying to talk to me and she was one of them white girls who's like, oh, I only mess with black guys, I actually would stay away from that, because you're looking at me like a fetish. Like, you should like me for me. If I'm gonna step outside, I'd rather step outside with someone who's just feeling me for who I am, not because of what I am. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be put into a box like that. Like, and that's goes for anything. Like, there's guys who have fat fetishes. You know, there's people who have midget fetishes and like all kinds of weird stuff like that. But I guess a fetish could turn into love, right? Could it? That's an interesting question. If I were to answer it, I would say, yeah, it can. Why not? But let's continue.
it's between two consenting adults, the freak stuff in the bedroom, if race sprinkles is put into that context, what do we think of that? Like, it's just in the bedroom, or is it like possible to just keep it in the bedroom?
How would race be put into the bedroom?
Use your imagination.
It doesn't even matter if you're consenting or not, it's still wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you want to say that stuff, you want to do that stuff because of the stereotypes you have of those people, and that doesn't really sit right with me whatsoever.
I have always wanted mixed babies. 3,
Oh, God.
2, 1, go.
At one point in my life, I kind of wanted to have mixed babies with almost every race. I don't know if that's weird, but I just wanted, I'm real into genetics. I would like to see how my kids would turn out in
Every race. Jeez. As a mixed race person myself, you don't have a group of people to really be around. I mean, sometimes you connect with one side, sometimes you connect with another side, but for me, it sucked actually a lot. I've accepted myself. I'm black and proud. I love the fact that I have both of these cultures and I really don't care. I just have to teach my kids that because of your skin tone, you either gain privileges or lose privileges.
Like, I've had people at work, like, we'll be talking about ourselves and I'll show them a picture of Ivan and they'll be like, oh my God, I totally wanted black babies, like, when I was like a teenager. And it's just like, this isn't Build-A-Bear, like,
Right.
this is a human, like, what the
Right.
So,
And I actually have an 8-year-old mixed child. It's been very
Oh.
challenging, but I've had to stick it out.
gay
because
guy's a
I
kid.
want to be a good father and I care about my kid. So
This isn't Build-A-Bear, this is real life. And in my mind, I wanted to have kids that was exactly my skin tone or very close to it and look like me, because I am conceited as well. Where the hell I'm gonna find somebody to do that and it work out and they're just the perfect wife? I don't believe in that anymore.
It's funny because that was actually something we talked about when we first started dating, that became an insecurity of mine. I was like, so why are we dating? Because I cannot provide absolutely any of that for you. And so I understand, like I said, why he feels that way, why a lot of the Black community feels that way. So I'm just glad that I'm accepted now in our relationship for that.
I sometimes feel like I betrayed my own race. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. I definitely feel like that, man. I feel like, especially where I'm from, I did my people a disservice by playing into that stereotype. And knowing what I stand for now, it's hard for me to feel like I'm gonna be taken serious in the future if I ever wanna speak on controversial topics. My people won't respect what I say because like it doesn't add up, my views and stuff, and then I'm dating somebody outside of my race behind the scenes. I feel like I lose respect in a way.
Me growing up,
I want to speak on that. I think a lot of people who date interracially, especially Black people, feel this way, feel the way he feels about it. And I'm here to tell you that that does not matter, okay? Your beliefs. Now, obviously, it's one thing if you're preaching don't date outside your race, then you're out here dating outside your race. That is called hypocrisy. But if you're someone who is pro-Black, though, and you're someone who is for the cause and things like that, you like who you like. You fall for who you fall for. Okay, that doesn't mean you can't be in support of the causes that you are in support of just because you may have fallen for someone outside of your race. A lot of people are going to disagree with you, going to disagree with me on that. But you can still believe in the things you believe in. Who you are with does not define who you are. Now, if that person you're with is making you lose sight of those things and you're starting to question those things, then maybe you weren't so into those beliefs to begin with. Let's continue.
like I was never always seen as Black, whether it was because of how I looked or how I talked or my culture. But then when I get with someone who's not Black, right, they're like, oh, you're betraying us. Oh, like I get comments literally in my DMs being like, oh, Alex, you're not with us no more, right? And I'm like, do you want me or do you not want me, you know? It doesn't bother me if you don't want me, and I understand it is what it is, but don't pick and choose and don't nitpick little things, right? If you want me to be part of your community, then accept me for who I am. Don't say that because I'm half, I don't get to participate in certain topics or certain discussions.
Being linked to another race has its benefits. 3, 2, 1, go.
I guess I feel like the word like linked kind of confused me because I feel like experiencing another person's experience, like what their culture, like the way that they live is definitely personally beneficial. But I think that like in terms of how others view me because I'm dating a white man, I don't find that beneficial. Like I feel like people might have like preconceptions about who I am because I'm an Asian person who's chosen to date a white man. Yeah, I had a question for, I guess, other people. Like, do you ever feel like being with a white person like could shield you from like discrimination, or like that they could like stand up for you in a certain context? Like if you were in like an altercation with the police or something, like would having a white person there, like
sure,
right?
Sure.
It would be
In that
helpful.
sense, and that's what I kind of thought of when I heard the question and I was listening to you. It was just like, I don't know, even a customer service experience. I don't know, just random experiences where the person on the other side might judge me based on me being Black, but versus someone else calling, or him calling, and it's a whole different experience. So they might treat us individuals differently. So there might be a whole different experience based on just that.
I feel like an outsider with my partner's family. 3, 2, 1, go.
So I'm sorry, Grace.
On the answer.
In our lives, especially today, recently, politics plays such a huge part in it. And because you come from a conservative household, that's different from where I come from. And it does make me a little bit uncomfortable to know that I'm gonna be meeting people and have to have close relationships with them, and they don't value what I feel like I value in my life.
He's actually the first Black man I have ever dated and the only person of color within like my family just in of itself. And so certain members of my family with the same political values as us like had to kind of confide in me like, hey, we support you with whoever you date, like we're here for you. So it was interesting to kind of see the different sides of my family members that I didn't necessarily know.
When I met her father for the first time, we were walking to get food and we saw the Ronald Reagan Museum or something like that. And he's like, oh yeah, I love Ronald Reagan, right? And you can have your own personal opinions on presidents, but Ronald Reagan was like, he's like the main reason why black people are incarcerated. He's not a very good person to black people. So I was just kind of cracking up about that, and I was kind of awkward, and I know you kind of bit your tongue on that as well.
Yeah, it was hard to not say anything.
But I was thinking about saying something to maybe like be like, oh, I don't know about that, but I didn't want to like argue with your father on the very first day that I met him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very fun. Yeah. I don't know if I can exactly truly connect with him because of that. He's a very nice person, obviously, and he makes me feel comfortable, but at the same time I have to recognize who I am as a person.
I would say I somewhat agree because with my partner's family there's a language barrier. So I guess it's my responsibility now to try to learn the language, but sometimes when we're together, they're talking, I have no idea what's going on. So I think that's a bit of why I feel like an outsider, but other than that...
Honey, you is not about to learn whatever language they speak.
3, 2, 1, go.
I'll start. I feel
Yeah,
like
that should all be a
that would
strongly
just be the
disagree.
default easiest way to navigate through life. But definitely, obviously, growth happens when you're in interracial relationships. But yeah, that's kind of why I chose somewhat agree.
Yeah, I guess it, like you were saying, like I just feel like it would be.
Hold on, man. If you wish you and your partner were the same race, you should date someone of the same race. Look, in this day and age, people do still have a problem with interracial dating. But it ain't like it was. Bruh, you can date who you want. You really can. Like, no one can tell you can't. Right? But if you wish your partner and you were the same race, you should be with someone of that race. You know what I mean? You should be with someone of your own race then. I don't know. I mean, that would hurt my feelings, or I could see someone else's feelings getting hurt if they heard their partner say that. Because it's like, well, I'm not that race and I can't be that. So what? Or am I never going to be good enough or whatever? You know, just, I don't know. It's just me. Let's finish this out.
Easier in some aspects, and then for me, just like being mixed race, I have felt very like disconnected from my culture, so I feel like dating someone who was like Chilean or who was Korean would help me. But I also agree, like obviously if you weren't white, you wouldn't be like you, and so I don't like wish that.
Exactly.
The benefits outweigh like what I gain. It kind of sounds weird coming out because it's like, what do you guys get out of dating white people? But like white people, I feel like we learn a lot.
I think it's interesting that everyone's saying that they feel it's easier, because I feel like it would be more difficult, me having a black man and raising a black family, that it would be more difficult if I was maybe with someone who was white, who could probably have benefits in other ways. I'm grateful for my husband, and I love being with him. And I think there's a lot of benefits just culturally.
And you guys, that is officially a wrap.
All right, we'll cut that there. So that was an interesting one, right? They had a nice little diverse group of races there. I think they could have jumped in a little bit deeper with some of the questions. I think they should have got some more perspectives from everybody, maybe introduced everybody. This was a short one from Jubilee. Jubilee usually puts out a good, 20 or 22-minute video, something like that. But this was good. Interracial dating is always a topic. It's not nearly as taboo as it was even 10 years ago. I see people of all kinds of races dating people of all kinds of races all the time now. All right? But I am going to make a video. It'll probably be a burning question. Should you date outside your race? Something along those lines. We'll play with the actual title of the question. But guys, let me know what you think about interracial dating down in the comments. Let me know what you thought about some of these couples. Let me know if you agree, disagree with some of the things you heard them say, all right? I'm Dom Knight. This is Night Talks. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content and help me hit my new goal. All right? I'm going to throw the socials right there for you. And I'll be back on Friday with some advice.
That's nice.
Peace.
Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, I'm with the gang, we taking shots off the rebound. Fucking my post the same now, I've been humble too long, yeah. Tell them all to stay calm, yeah. Tell them all to move on,